I'm not real concerned about Donald Trump not having a voice, because Donald Trump has a voice. He's president of the United States. Even when he's no longer president in a couple of weeks, which is going to happen, and you people that are holding on to hopium, you need to stop.
I know,
right?
man. It's crazy.
He's going to sign it. We'll get to that in a second, right? That's not happening. It's done. But even when he's done, he's a multi.
Am I on here? What? Let's see.
If he wants to be heard, he's going to be heard.
Yep. All right. Looks like we are. We on? All right. Sweet. Yay. Looks like we're on board. All right. All right. So what I want to do, I want to go. Yeah. Let's see. All right, so we're going to go to. Okay. There we go. Sweet. All right. Looks like we're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. So we got it. There we go. All right. That looks good. All right. Well, I appreciate y'all being here. Kind of jumping on a little bit short notice. I was going to do this earlier, but I was actually working out on the treadmill. Got a nice treadmill we got from Costco. I actually enjoyed it a lot. I do 15 minutes of hard walking, like 4.5, whatever, I guess 4.5. Is that 4.5 miles an hour? I'm not even sure what it is. And then run. So 4.5, 6, whatever that is, for 15 minutes. Do 15 push-ups, sit-ups, and something else. It depends on what I feel like doing. So pull-ups, but 15 push-ups on your knuckles. It's good stuff, man. So I enjoyed immensely. I feel in pretty good shape, actually. It's good stuff. Hey, Eric, what's going on, man? What's the word? What is the word? All right. So what I want to do here today is I'm sick of griping, to be honest with you. Griping, gripe all we want. It doesn't matter. I mean, I'm not saying we shouldn't gripe. We can gripe about insanity is going on. But I just, at the end of the day, man, is you gripe or you can do something. I'm seeing a lot of people on my side saying, I'm never going to vote again. And it's like stupid, man. I mean, I don't know if people haven't seen what happened in Venezuela, in Iraq, in various places where people don't vote because they're going to show them stupid. You can't. You got to vote. Maybe you don't vote in the presidency because your vote doesn't count there. Maybe I disagree with that, but I get that's a lot more thing. But you got to vote in your local elections for sure, and that's what I want to start this presentation with here today. So we're going to go into share screen, and we're going to go to Ballotpedia. All right, here we go, and we're going to see what we got coming up for 2021. All right, so 2021. So we got. We got some special elections, and I'll put links. Actually, I'll just put it right here. Let's see if I can put it right here I'll put in the show notes too for those of you guys who are watching later. All right, in case you guys want to watch, jump on board while I'm doing this. All right, so all right, sweet. You all can see that. Yeah. All right. So what I want to get at here is obviously special elections are pretty big. All right. So if you're in Georgia. House rep, that's state district. So we got that's got to be local one, February 9th. But we'll pass on that for just a second. I want to get back to that. This is where you make a difference right here. City schools, public schools, the local house districts. Now we can click on this guy right here to see what this is. I don't even know where Georgia 90 is. That's not me. So let's see where it is. Election day, local elections. It'll tell you everything you need to know to vote here. Let's see. All right, hold on a second. I don't know. We'll just go click on this guy. Special state legislative election. District 90, March 9th is the. Let's see. And so you can see. Republicans still control the majority, which is why the whole thing's nuts in Georgia, because we still control the Senate, we still control the House, the governor, the Secretary of State, and I still think I'll contend to I'm blue in the face that Puffy isn't. He's not the CCP, certainly not Brian Kemp. I think just Puffy again is just a saving grace thing. He screwed up royally. He knows he screwed up royally, and he has to show people that he didn't screw up royally by saying what happened here was on the up and up. And I don't think it's anything more than that. I just think it's pride. All right, so we got Georgia House of Representatives, District 90. All right, so for instance, where is District 90? I don't know, so we got to find out. Hopefully they'll show us where it is. I don't know where it's at. So we'll have to do some work on this to see where it's at. But I mean, look at this. So whoever won last time, these are the Democratic primary for House of this a Democratic, only 8,500 votes cast. All right, and then here's the Republican. So it looks like so Pan Stevenson won 27,000 votes, so she won going away. Looks like she's probably retiring, I guess. Is that why she? I'm not sure why there's a special election. I don't know what's going on there. But anyway, here's House 90, House of Representatives 90. I don't know what did she die? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But she won with 27,000 votes. Probably smoked a Republican competition. Yeah, she won in 2018 as well. Yeah, so this is definitely a Lib district for sure. But at the end of the day, this might be a steal. You see what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know what's going on in Georgia 90, but man, Scott Brown beat Martha Coakley in the Senate for Massachusetts. And I'm telling you, that set the world on fire. So maybe this is one of those things you can say, hey, look, if we can take this, House District 90, I don't know what happened with Pam. I don't know, but she's obviously not running because there's a special election. Did she get thrown in jail? Did she have a baby? I have no idea. But this is the kind of stuff that you got to be paying attention to. You got to say, I wonder if there's a mechanism to find out if we could steal this. I'm telling you. Now, you might not stay in there for long. I'm not saying you got to throw your hat in there, but somebody will. And you got to find out who these people are. Support them. All right, so let's keep going back here. So that's in Georgia special election. But that's not the big ones. Now, obviously, the big ones, you got Louisiana, Georgia, school districts. I'm telling you, school districts are huge, man, especially when it comes to public health and school districts, because those are people like, did you see my video I did? Did I ever post that? I can't remember if I did or not. On Turtle Boy Sports, they did an article where the lady who is running the second biggest school district public health authority is literally, she's like an insurance adjuster at the University of Massachusetts Hospital. And her husband's a fireman. All right. Now, she literally was appointed to that place, the public health authority, the commissioner of the public health authority of the second largest school district in Massachusetts, right outside of Worcester, simply because the guy, the mayor, and she was already on the legislative committee. She was already, part of the politics, but she was appointed there, not because she has any chops in virology, epidemiology, whatever that word is, or anything like that, but because she was a nice lady and she worked well with others, and her husband was a firefighter. That's literally it. The person who ran against her was a literal expert in viruses and virology and stuff, but they appointed her. Now, they didn't know, this is back last year. They had no clue that she would be in this charge, but now she's one responsible for sending the second largest school district kids back to school. It's insanity. It's insanity. She's got no skill set at all. None. And she just, literally, I got no animosity towards her, but they show a city council meeting. They say, they call her name Jenny. Hey, Jenny. And she goes, hey, Jenny, what's the expert say? And I'm like, dude, she's not the expert. She's not. She goes, well, we think we should. It's crazy. You got to get, there's a lot of public school elections in Oklahoma. So there we go. So I want to go, where is it? I want to go to statewide congressional elections right here. All right, so let's go to congressional elections for 2021. Or no. Well, I will start with that. We did the House district. We got Georgia. We already did that. We got smoked because we suck. We want to look at state. We don't want congressional. We want to go to state legislatures right there. All right, yeah, right here. New Jersey. This is the big one right here, man. Virginia House of Delegates right there. Virginia House of Delegates is the big one. If you're in Virginia and you're not on this like white on rice and you respect freedom, you, my friend, are flipping wrong. All right, so we got all these. Terry Kilgore, who used to be Lieutenant Governor, Attorney General, and they're all up, man. All these guys are up. Now, what happened was, for the first time in 15 years or so, the Democrats turned over the House to the Democrats in the off-year election. And so they have a trifecta in Virginia. That means they can do whatever the hell they want to do. You see what I'm saying? They hadn't had that for a long, long time. But this is coming up. The Virginia elections in 2021 are huge. The House of Representatives. This is where you can make a point in telling people to freaking get the hell out of here, man, because we want to take this back. And you do it at the ballot box, for heaven's sake. So I don't know where you are, but let's look at what was that? I don't know who I wish they did it by map. Remember that guy, Nick Freitas? That guy sounds familiar to me. I can't remember why. Hold on just a second. I'm trying to think who my guy was. If any of these guys ring a bell. No. I mean, it's been a long time since I lived in Virginia. So let's see if any of these guys ring a bell. Nah, they don't. All right, but let's just see where old Keith Hodges is here. I mean, I don't know who this guy is from Adam, but we'll see where he's at. All right, so he's in man, I wish to show you where it's at here. Virginia Committee assignments. Okay. Anyway, I don't know where he's at. But anyway, you need to look and find out where you are, find out what your district is, and find out what's going on in your neck of the woods so you can vote, you can campaign, you can ballot. The Virginia one is huge. No one expects anything out of New Jersey. No one expects Republicans to do anything in New Jersey, which means the New Jersey Democrats are usually taken by surprise because the Republicans are usually motivated, but no one expects anything in New Jersey. So there's lots that can be done in New Jersey. And again, you want to start at the lower level, the General Assembly, the House of Delegates, and find out who your guy is or lady. I can't remember my guy here. I just don't remember. I was in Camden County, so it was some far left loony, that's for sure. None of these names ring a bell to me. But anyway, the point being, so Republicans took over 93, Christie Todd Whitman, 2009 with what's his name, fat boy Christie there. Christie's such a clown. I'll never forget Ann Coulter. I want Chris Christie. I said, Ann Coulter. Everyone on the right loved Ann Coulter. I said, man, I don't like her at all. I was never a big Ann Coulter fan. I didn't like her in the least. And it just, the whole thing with Chris, I didn't get the whole aura of Chris Christie. He never did anything for me. But anyway, so he won. Christie Todd Whitman won, and Christine Todd Whitman turned out to be a snake in the grass. Chris Christie did the same, unfortunately, because he wanted to be the Attorney General under Trump, and when Trump said no, he turned on him, which is what these guys do, man. Anyway, the issue here is a lot of the Democrats are caught flat-footed, so you could come in there and find one of these guys and freaking take one of these guys out. Politically, rhetorically for politics. Anyway, so right here in the state Senate, it's 25-15. It's not as bad as you would think in New Jersey, all right? In the state Senate, and don't forget, that was after the 2017 election, the off-year election when Trump was in presidency. So that's not a huge majority. If the Republicans get 6 seats, they win the majority of the Senate. That's big, man. And so an off-year election in 2017 after Trump won, to only be down by 10 seats in New Jersey, that ain't too shabby, my friends. The House of Delegates is a lot, the General Assembly is a lot further, but again, that right there is only 6-seat swing. Republicans take 6 seats and they win the majority in the Senate. And they're running for governorships too there. If memory serves, they can serve 2 terms. Their stupid governor, I think it's Murphy's in. Is it Murphy there too? The guy in Connecticut's. Vermont, Scott. Yes, Murphy in New Jersey. He's a clown. He's a clown. I don't know who's running against him, but anyway, that's a big one right there. The New Jersey House of Delegates, the Virginia House of Delegates. You gotta be involved in this stuff, man. All right, so let's look what else we got here. We got state judges, state legislators. We talked about state executives. We're gonna have Virginia, New Jersey. Yeah, 2 gubernatorial. They'll be both in Virginia and New Jersey. For those 2 guys there. All right. So again, we want to. And Democrats have. Both these states are in play, which means if the Republicans can just swing one. So you got 2 governors and 4 chambers. If the Republicans can just swing one, that will change this from blue to at least whatever blue and red is, green. I guess I don't know what it is. That's big, man. That's big. You get involved somehow. But John, so there's Virginia, here's New Jersey. All right, here's stupid. Funny thing is interesting. New Hampshire is just the opposite of Georgia. So New Hampshire has got a Republican Senate, a Republican House, Republican governor, trifecta, and every one of their national legislature, the congressmen and the senates are blue. We're not quite as bad, but we got a trifecta in the Senate, a trifecta in the House, and a trifecta for given that we have the governor. But our legislative chamber, I mean, our two senators now are far left loons. Crazy. It's nuts, man. Anyway, so if you're in New Jersey or Virginia, you got to get off the tough, man. Stop being like, well, Josh, well, the commies are coming. Biden is not a commie. I mean, he's just not. Like Biden, I can't stand the guy. I've never liked Biden, but he's not a commie. I mean, he doesn't know. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Kamala, she's dumb as a rock. Biden is dumb as a rock. All these guys, you know why they're dumb? Because they plagiarize everything. Hear about Kamala saying, I said, freedom, Mom, freedom. Did you hear that when she's sitting in her when she was a little kid and Black Panthers are protesting and she goes, I want freedom. Turns out she stole that directly from like Martin Luther King or something like that. Biden's been plagiarizing people his whole life. These guys just aren't that bright. But at least Biden's a good politics, man. He is a good politician. Not gonna lie to you. Kamala, we know what got her where she got there. Just ask Willie Brown. But these aren't the sharpest people. And when they're not that bright, they're also going to have people in their wings who are not that bright. But some of these people are pure evil. I get that. But at the end of the day, is what we're dealing with. You got to deal with it. And the first step is to change the landscape going forward, man. All right, so let's see what else we got. The state legislative, state measures. Anything's on here. This is where referendums are huge. So if I were you and I'm in Rhode Island, I'd vote everything down. Nope. Every single thing. See, what happens is this is where politics sucks, man. It's in economics. We know this. Who do you think is going to vote the higher education bond measure? Well, every single swinging, you know what, who's affected by higher education, the administrators, the professors, all those guys are going to vote, 95% turnout for the bond to pass. Because they have a huge benefit from winning. Who's not going to vote? Well, the massive amount of people, they're going to say, it's not that big to me. So while it might only cost you 5 cents in sales tax or a bond that you don't even have to pay back, it's not that big of you. The hit to you is so small, but the benefit to the few that get that pass is huge. This is where special interests and why democracies just don't work that well. Because there's a huge benefit for a few, but a limited negative for a lot. And the huge benefit for a few will always outweigh the limited benefit for negative for a lot, which means these measures will always pass. Whoever is in freaking water bond measure, whoever the hell that is, they have a huge incentive to vote and they get everybody else to vote. They have 100% turnout. The vast majority of people say, whatever. And not only that, it's a bond. They don't have to pay it back, that they think. Same thing with transportation. Same thing with housing. I mean, the NAHB, the National Association of Home Builders, transportation, the freaking paving companies, all that, they all have huge incentives to pass these things for sure. I mean, so all these bonds, I just go there and vote no. Say on March 21st, say nope, all the way down. I don't even give a crap what they're for. Just vote no. Get out there and vote no. Let's see. Colorado ballot measures. Let's see what we got here. Another transportation bond. Nope. We got Rhode Island. We were talking about that. Ballot measures in odd years. So we're going to go to 2009. Okay, so all right. I'm not sure what California will have this year, but if you're in California, let's go to state right there. They usually have a lot of referendums. I don't see anything. So anyway, you gotta find out what you can do to help to the cause of freedom, man. I mean, my goodness, no one votes in these off-year elections, so your one vote can make a difference. Special elections for the U.S. House. I'm not familiar with too many this coming year. Louisiana congressional fill the vacancy left by Cedric Richmond, who joined the Biden administration. So that's probably a guy in New Orleans. He's probably going to be a shoo-in for a Democrat, but you never know. These special elections, don't assume they're shoo-in. This is what happened in 2017 when Ossoff, who's now I can't believe this guy's my senator, but he got his name recognition for running against Karen Handel in my district, and he lost. He lost big time, but he came back, and kudos to him. He won. He has daddy's money, his wife's daddy's money. The stupid lady in the district won district over, Carolyn Bordeaux. She lost in 2018 to the incumbent. It was a lot closer than it should have been. And she came back, and now she's the congresswoman in Gwinnett County. Crazy. This is where, but I mean, at the end of the day, both of those districts are held by Republicans. Karen Handel held Biden one, and now it's a big lib. Republican held the one in Gwinnett County, and now it's by a big lib. It's crazy. And so the same thing could happen in Cedric Richmond's district, wherever the hell that is. So that's the second. The fifth one right here, we got that guy, Luke Letlow, who, by the way, had a heart attack. All these people say he died of COVID. No, he didn't die from COVID. He had a heart attack. So stop that crap. It drives me up the wall. But anyway, a special election to fill his seat. You think the Democrats aren't chomping at the bit, saying, oh, my goodness, you Republicans, they're so bad. They're never going to vote. They're going to show the Republicans are never going to vote. You got to get out there, man. So we got Kamala. She's going to have I don't think they're going to have I think they already appointed someone for her. No, is she on the Biden campaign, this chick right here? Yep. Dude, she is nuts, this woman right here, Marsha Fudge. Oh, my goodness. This could be a fun couple of years, man. Good. Marsha, I mean, these people on the left are nuts. I was just listening to AOC talking about they're going to pass a bill not to make Trump ever be able to run again. And I said, all you guys are going to do is make it, look, all you're going to do is make him more popular. That's all you're going to do. I mean, more power to you, AOC. For me personally, I hope Trump does not run in 2024. Too old, first of all. And second of all, I think Trump he did great for 3 years and poorly for the fourth year. I really believe that. And I was relatively disappointed. Still a supporter of Trump. Oh, by the way, YouTube, I did vote for Trump. I just want everybody to know I voted for him in case YouTube wants to ban me for voting for Trump, because apparently everyone's being banned for even mentioning that they have a Trump sticker. It's crazy. Which is good. All that stuff's good because it's pissing people off. And you need people fired up. People are just like, wah, wah. That's not good. You need a fired up base, man. And people are going to get fired up. And it's a lot quicker than I would have thought, man. Usually it takes, probably 6 months to a year or so before it settles in. But now it's settling fast and furious. And now they're settling with a fear, actually, for people's jobs and livelihoods. Here's Sniffy Joe out there saying, who knows what the hell he's saying, but he's calling Ted Cruz a hit like Goebbels or whatever the hell that guy's name was. This is just weird stuff. It's good because that's going to put the fear. Because remember, people react more based on fear than they do on happiness. That's for sure. So when people are fearful, they engage. When people feel comfortable, they don't. Which is why in the off-year elections, the out of power party always wins, because there's a fear inherent that the other party is going to go too far. So, all right. Anyway, this is about PETA. You lots of stuff you can navigate on here. Big fan. Click here for upcoming races, Boulder, all kinds of stuff. So we can, just tons of different things you could click at. If you're not doing it, you're on, man. You got to figure out what the hell is going on in your neck of the woods. That way you can say, look, I need to have a say. And they're not going to, oh, yeah, did we stop here? Did we always? Yeah, we always go written down. They can't, there's only so many Fulton counties out there, if that makes sense. There's only so many Milwaukee precincts out there, if that makes sense. They can't do what they did in Milwaukee and Philadelphia and Fulton County in every single legislative district. They just don't have the manpower. There just is not enough manpower. So there's only so many things they can do. So your vote matters more, maybe, than even my vote here in Fulton County. Let's just put it that way. So if you're living in freaking, I don't know, what's this place called? The Iowa State Senate District 41. I have no idea where that is. But if you're living in that district, you're not living in Fulton County. There's going to be a whole hell of a lot easier to make your vote count than mine does. So just keep that in mind, would you? Let's go to statewide elections. We are talking about, yeah, right, general elect. Ooh, Colorado. Here we go. Okay. Special election. We talked about that. Wisconsin special election. Wisconsin spring general election. What the hell is that? Ooh, let's take a look, shall we? Other state executive. Scoops right here, man. This stuff is so flipping huge. Municipal government. If you're, my man Eric, you're on here. You're in Wisconsin. Get your butt out there to freaking vote, brother. You got What's going on here? Hold on a second. Municipal elections across the U.S. All right, so let's go down to Wisconsin. Wisconsin is a massive Milwaukee. Dane County, that's huge. I remember Dane County. Is that where Madison is? County executive, county supervisor, circuit court judges. Isn't Dane County the biggest county there is out there, Eric? If memory serves, isn't that where Scott Walker came from, the Dane County, or is that Milwaukee County? All right, so what's at stake? Yeah, here's the demographics for Dane County. 84% white, 5% black, 510,000. So 10% of the state of population, state of Wisconsin, lives in this state right there. Decent household income. Yeah, right there. Anyway, I can't remember. That might be, anyway, that if you're not on that like white on rice, you're wrong if you live in Dane County. You better be getting out there to vote, man. County executive, I'm telling you, those people play huge roles right there. Circuit court judges up for election. You better get your butt out there, Eric, and bring all your friends too. Vote early, vote often. That's what I always say. All right, so Virginia Beach, Commissioner of Revenue, Commonwealth's attorney. So now that Sneaky Joe is going to get his district DOJ offices and all the attorneys that they got, that they always yell at Republicans for saying you can't fire the mass attorneys. You need to get the Commonwealth's attorneys to represent sheriffs, city council, Salt Lake. So there's Texas, Fort Worth. That's like one of the biggest cities. Got a Republican mayor right now. San Antonio's left, but still, you might get a steal there. You never know. Harrisburg, all right. Allegheny County, all right. Well, I'm just looking real quick. So North Carolina, mayor's up in North Carolina, Charlotte, New York City, the mayor's up. It's not going to be Cameo. It's going to be because I think he's been term limited out. Here, let's go to Georgia. Concord County, Concord, New Hampshire. That's just the state capitals. Let's just see. Maine, Augusta, Maine. If you live in Augusta, Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, mayor and city council. Man, the mayor's up again. Seems like I wonder if it's every 2 years the mayor votes. We've had so many corrupt people here in Atlanta. It's nuts. Keisha Bottoms, I think she's going to be on the Steely Joe's ticket there. So I think she was like in the running to be one of his running mates. All right, so let's see what else we got here, my friends. We did, okay, special state, other state executives, intermediate appellate courts, municipal government, okay. Yeah, let's go to special state legislative. I tell you, these are the big ones here that you can make a difference. And everyone, so here's Wisconsin. Senate special elections called, District 13, April 6th. I tell you, man. So, Eric, I don't know what you are in, but, man, you better be filling out this stuff and watching and if you're in Wisconsin up there, my friends, you all better be taking notes because there's a lot that you can make a difference. I mean, these off-year special elections, no one votes. And look, I'm same thing here. I'm looking at me. I'm saying, dude, so who's the other state executive here? Like superintendent of public instruction. That's a big deal nowadays in the era of COVID. And we got freaking Sheila Briggs and these clowns, all these are a bunch of clowns. So find out who the better clown is and vote for that guy and get the other clowns out of there, man. That's a big freaking office. All right, so let's go to got Georgia. Oh, right here. All right, so we're going to go to Georgia. Oh, we already did that one. Never mind. Pained. Pennsylvania. Just primary elections because, that's just going to be okay. So the primaries, like right here, that's for their state legislature, state offices. Like, so Pennsylvania, I think, well, no, that's not. Wait, what is that? Their state isn't up, is it? Offices on the ballot. State Supreme Court. Okay. All right. Gotcha. Primary. So Virginia, New Jersey, that's going to be right here. General election, Colorado. Is there a state legislature up? School boards, municipal government, recalls. Oh, man. Ballot measures. All right. That's going to be the bonds. Maine. The coolest kids come from Maine, as we all know. Special state legislature. Let's take a gander, shall we? I think that was one in let's see. Yeah, so we lost. So it's interesting. In Maine, we actually picked up 11 seats in the House. We lost one in the Senate, though. So in Maine, we got 67 seats in the House. I got 13 in the Senate. So in that case, if all the seats are now, they're not going to be up in 2021. We just going to be a District 9. That's it. Okay, gotcha. So I mean, that's a split place up there, which is good. So that means the state of Maine on an off-year election when redistrict is. I mean, let me just tell you what's going on here. So this is the year for redistricting because the centennial, every 10 years, they redistrict the congressional and the state legislative districts. All right, so what happens here? The Democrats held 87 seats to Republicans 56. The Democrats had a 31-seat majority, if that makes sense. All right, now the Democrats have only a 13-seat majority, so they still own it, and they still can run the tables on us. I was misreading that. But it's a lot closer, but they can still read. That's never mind. I thought the Republicans might have held the majority there, but they don't. That sucks. They lost 7. We picked up 11. So we gained half of the majority, but not enough. They can run the tables on redistricting, which kind of sucks. Actually, that sucks big time. All right, let's keep going here. So it's all right. Bear with me just a second. So let me show you something. Like if they got nope. Is Pennsylvania? No, they're not up, are they? Because this would be huge if they are. State. Okay, nope. Yeah. New Jersey statewide, Virginia, Washington, general election. Well, let's take a look what this one is. Okay, so a lot of courts, school districts and whatnot. Let's just see Ohio, ballot measure, elections, probably bonds and stuff. School boards, municipal government. Yeah, okay. Those are all important. I'm telling you right now. Someone is making decisions in there. And after this COVID stuff, man, you better get your butt out there. All right, so I hope that's how you can kind of see what's going on to figure stuff out here to make sure that you can vote. If we go to Virginia real quick, I just want to we're going to go to State House. I'm not sure if they showed on this or not in terms of what the previous breakdown used to be. I think they might actually. Hold on just a second. Let's see if they show us what the previous breakdown used to be. Yeah, right here. All right, so 92 and 93, we had it was Chuck Robart. No, he was the Senate. I forgot who our governor was back then. I forgot. But anyway, the Democrats controlled everything until right here, George Allen broke the string right there. So George Allen won. Then we had what's that guy? Some uninspiring guy, and I forgot who it was. But anyway, so then, but Republicans didn't control the whole thing until right here, 01 and 2000, 2001. 2002, I think Warner became our governor. And that was surprising. I remember a lot of people were surprised by that. 2006, we had Jim Webb actually take out, he won the Senate. He beat George Allen when I think John Warner retired. And that was surprising. That was kind of disappointing as well. But the Republicans still controlled all this right here. So, I mean, you can see it was Democrat. Only for a couple of years, the Republican control everything. You see what I'm saying? That's it. And then the Democrats control the governor and the state house. But it was not until 2019 elections where Democrats run the tables. And this sucks because this is an off-year election by centennial, whatever it is, every 10-year election where they're going to be able to do the redistricting. Which sucks big time. No other way around that. And it's interesting here too, because Trump actually came a lot closer to the Democrats in 2016 than we did in 2020. So it sucks, man. I want to show you something. You want to see something cool though? Check this out. We're gonna go to let's go to New Hampshire. Oops. New Hampshire 2020 election. This is pretty cool. Okay. I don't know how to do that. 2020 elections, state legislatures. There we go. and this is huge. I'm telling you right now, this is gigantic. All right, so let's go down to, hopefully it'll show us here. Yeah, well, I'm hoping it'll show us. Yeah, maybe not there. I was hoping to show us just New Hampshire. Right here, New Hampshire, right there, House of Representatives. Let's see if we can see that here. This is pretty sweet. If it'll show it to us. Yeah, so as of it's gonna show, well, maybe it won't. Where I was going with that, the Republicans won like freaking 80 seats or 60 seats or something like that in New Hampshire. It was nuts, man. So now we controlled the whole thing. It was insane how bad we spanked the Democrats there. And so you can see right here, the Republicans gonna have 211, the Democrats have 187, and we won. It was nuts how many seats we won. And it's huge because again, we're in charge now of redistricting. And look, I don't like it, but that's the way it is. So get out there and find out what's going on with you, and make sure that you do what you got to do, which is make sure you freaking register. Right? Oh, you guys can't hear. And make sure you vote, man. I mean, you got to do it, but you gotta get out there. All right, so we got. We are the few deployed stage activated justices on right on. We got a master sergeant, right on, master sergeant. We got Maine FTW. What does FTW stand for? Yeah, systems are. I mean, it's rigged, Dan, but not everywhere. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's not rigged in your local elections. It's not. And I tell you, man, I just wish more people would be involved in the local. And I'm a hypocrite. I vote every single election for special election. I vote every single, main one, but I don't vote in the small ones. And that's where you get, I'm telling you, that's where you get stung. Just like I gave you the example. We should talk about the media switch that occurred where they made the Republicans red and the Democrats blue. Yeah, the media's war is Republican go on forever. Yeah, that was weird. I never understood why is the Republicans red. That's kind of weird. Yep, Florida is kicking butt, taking names. The problem with Florida, thankfully, not the problem, but thankfully you had a governor and a legislature and Rick Scott who decided to say, we are going to fix the voting rolls and get rid of a couple 100,000 dead people. Of course, the Democrats scream bloody murder. We're already seeing it here now. Just watching an interview with a Republican guy who controls the House, the Senate, the House Majority Leader. He's saying, I'm not so sure there's any kind of fraud, but we got to make sure at least people have a voter ID for mail-in ballots. I was like, dude, that's fine, but you control all three sections. Why not just say, we aren't going to allow mail-in ballots unless you have an emergency need? That's it, just like it used to be. I don't get what's so hard about that. And of course, they got the Democrats saying, we shouldn't have an ID. We should never have an ID. And the Republicans need to say it needs to be just as hard to vote as it is to go on an airplane. That's it. You want to fly, you want to freaking go register your vehicle at DMV, you want to do anything, you need an ID. That's it. And we need to show your ID. So at least it's a step in the right direction. It's not nearly as forceful as I'd like, and that's what scares me is the Republicans are always going to be intimidated. The Democrats are always saying, they're trying to suppress us. The dude's already there saying they're trying to suppress the vote. I'm like, Republicans, they're going to literally, you could ask them to actually, I don't know what it is, to wake up in the morning. They're trying to suppress the vote. They're going to say that. The reason they say it, because you fall for it every single time. At some point, you got to say, whatever. It's like when they call you racist. I just don't care because it's silly. It's not true, and I won't entertain it. It's like, you're racist. Whatever. That's project much. I don't get why the Republicans can't. The sad thing is I think a lot of these Republicans are older, and they're from a previous generation, which was to be called racist was the most vile thing someone could call you. So a generation probably 10 to 15 years before mine, it was you could not be. I mean, to be called racist as a white guy, it was bad. It was really, really bad. Those days are pretty much gone because now they've used that card so much, and you call everybody racist for anything. I mean, it's insane. And so now it's like, most people don't care anymore. But I think the older leadership in the Republican Party is a bunch of Mitch McConnells, a bunch of older white guys. Probably go on to get along kind of guys. But the one thing they cannot stand to be called racist. They just can't, and they don't have the fight in them to say screw that. And so that's why we need to clear these guys out and get a new batch in here. And this is why I'm still Republican, man. It was easy to say I'm getting out of the Republican Party. I'm going to Libertarian. You'll never win. You're never going to win at Libertarian. You're going to get another Woodrow Wilson, which is exactly what happened in 1912. I mean, it's stupid. Don't do that. I mean, that's why I said I did a video I didn't post on this channel. My other channel, I said, don't leave the Republican Party. Take it over. For heaven's sake, do what the Democrats did, man. The far left Democrats of the 1968 convention, everyone thought they were freaking, they ruined the party initially, right? But slowly but surely, they began to take over. All right. Slowly but surely, the 1968 Democrats are in charge now. The Democrats have been left far, far left ever since. The days of the moderate Democrats are gone. There ain't none. You see what I'm saying? The 1968 Democrats took over, but it took a long time. The same thing's going to happen here. It just takes a while, but if you're not going to fight, you'll never take it over, and you'll leave it. By default, the other side will win. Republicans in this regard are an emotional bunch. Republicans generally are more logical and more thoughtful in terms of the logic and the rationale of the arguments of politics. Democrats are very emotional, like, oh, we need a free health care for everybody. Yay, sounds great. Sign me up. We need a $15 minimum wage. Yay, sign me up. I got people posting on here that says, if you can't afford to pay your employees $15, you should close up shop. That stuff's just stupid. Anyone says that's an idiot because they don't know what the guy's going through. I mean, you don't know what the profit margins are. You know what the profit margins are for a freaking grocery store? It's like razor thin, fool. So if you make that guy, the freaking the bagger, $15 an hour with a profit margin like 1%, you're just put them out of business. Freaking idiots. I hate that. You should do this because I say you can afford it. You're like, you don't know what his freaking P&L law statement is. P&L statement is. Oh, I hate that crap. Anyway, so the Republicans, but when it comes to, I'm done with these guys. You know what I'm saying? We always do that. It's always our first response is I'm not going to show them. I'm never going to show up to vote again because the system's rigged or the system's this or Mitt Romney's an idiot. It's like, then freaking get in there and fight so Mitt Romney doesn't become the nominee again, man. Do what Trump did. Trump showed you that it can be done. Now, Trump had the money and Trump used Twitter. That's what's funny about this. So Trump would not be president if it wasn't for Twitter. That's what I think is funny. I think with Twitter banning Trump, I mean, this stuff is insane. But I laugh because I said if it wasn't for Twitter, Trump would never be president. His voice would have never got out there. And I think it's funny. I mean, it's insane. And I wish that someone could have seen this coming when it seems like, didn't they do that to Milo and Alex Jones and even Farrakhan? I mean, okay. So they did it for a couple of people and, well, those guys are crazy. So they won't ban us. Like, dude, if they can ban them, they can ban anybody. Sure enough, they did that. No one said a damn thing, though. Still connection. This connection is still bad. Yeah, Republican voters always want to quit because it's like, I didn't get my way. I'm taking my ball and running. I'm just like, you got to play the long game. That's why we're going to this. We go to the left all the time because the Democrats play the long game. We play the short game emotion. We are like Democrats emotionally when it comes to minimum wage and, free health care and all that. They're like, they have no logic in their arguments, but it sounds good. And we're like, oh, they didn't do well. I'm out of here. But the Republicans and Dems are not the same. They're just not, man. I mean, they're just simply not true. I mean, I get this. I get it. I mean, they're of the swamp. They're all swamp creatures. I get that. They all like war. War they can make profits on. But at the end of the day, if it wasn't for the Republican Party, the video I did last week, we would not have all kinds of things that we have today. The first and foremost comes, I have AR-15s. That would not have happened if it was not for the Republican Party. I'm telling you right now, folks, I read a book by John Grisham, The Summons, that he had written in the mid-1990s. In Mississippi, you had to have a permit to carry a firearm, man. You don't need to do that now. You can carry a firearm, concealed carry, shall issue. That did not happen because the Dems and the R's are the same. It didn't. Now, in a lot of economic stuff, yes, I completely agree. By and large, they spend like drunken sailors, and they're there to get rich. I get that. But some of the social stuff, that's simply not true. It's just not. School choice, vouchers, HSAs, Roth IRAs, the Second Amendment being solidified is all due simply to the fact of the Republican Party. That is just a fact, my friends. And to say otherwise is not to be true. Now, on a lot of other stuff, I mean, there's a lot of stuff, probably more that the D's and R's in politics, in D.C. in particularly, do follow each other, but some things they don't. And there's some things we need to focus on. So focus on the things that are good. I mean, literally, you could not own an AR-15 right now if it was not for the Republican Party. You could not even own a handgun right now if it was not for the Republican Party. I'm just telling you right now. And once you sacrifice those rights, you'll never get them back. So Canada, they had to get rid of the registration program because, as Stephen Harper said, this is nuts. But it took a while, but they did get rid of it. So there's no national registration. Good luck trying to get a gun in Canada, though. And Australia's done. New Zealand's done. Because once you sacrifice that, you're never getting it back. So not only did we not sacrifice our firearms rights, we actually enhanced them, which, in my opinion, is huge, huge. What's the first thing tyrants do? They disarm the population. No free man shall be disarmed, as somebody said. James Madison, George Mason, or something like that. Yep. No, right on. Love my AR, can't have just one. Exactly. It's fun. I mean, it's just a fun rifle. It's just a funny thing about an AR. You realize these 223 rounds are like this. I mean, the actual round itself is like that. The rounds are. I mean, they'll do damage. It's better than 9mm, but it's not like it's a freaking 50 cal. People are nuts. Oh my goodness, it looks so evil. It's black. So that's racist. Why you gotta be racist? It has a pistol grip. Oh, well, what does a pistol have? Yeah, okay. No, Jill. Stop it. Oh, it's not too late. Good night, man. Come on. Wake up, everybody. Snap out of it. This is America. It's not too late. I'm telling you, the best thing that ever happened was this insanity of the Democratic Party right now. I am so excited what they're doing because they do this. They're doing it a hell of a lot quicker than I thought they would. And all they're going to do is cement opposition. Now, look, the Republicans won't be able to stop much, but at least they won't be freaking thrown in. Initially, it looked like they would. I'm telling you, initially, it looked like they would because of the stupid Capitol Hill thing, which, look, it didn't matter. It could be Trump going to see the Redskins playing football. Oh, my goodness, he's conference, right? It didn't matter what it was. I mean, give me a break. It did not matter. They were going to pin something on Trump and say, blah, blah, blah. But this extraordinary collusion by the fascists, it's literally fascism, what we're dealing with, was so quick and so violent that it's oh man, it's amazing, and it's going to tick anyone in the Republican Party who wants to stay in the Republican Party better wake their butts up, because they're saying, you think it's just Trump? Well, they're not just going after Trump, man. They're going after everybody associated with him. If you went to a Trump rally, never mind going to Capitol Hill, you just went to hear him, you could get fired. We've seen it happen. And you think that's not going to tick a lot of, Lindsey Grahamnesty, who's like, dude, I just want to get rich. I'm just trying to get rich. But come on. That was I tell you, and AOC's here today saying, I'm telling you, this is great. It's going to make the Republicans choose a side. And that's what the Republicans need to do. They need to choose a side. Are you for, look, we're going to lose Mittens. I get that. The guy's a nut. Which is insane. And Murkowski, I don't think so, because she's up in 2022. But the idea now that the number one thing was impeachment, which I think a lot of Republicans would have gone along with, frankly, now it ain't impeachment. Now it's about the media and the tech companies and the Democratic Party and the government colluding to rob people of their freedom of speech. And there's no way, man. There's no way that most Republicans are going to go along with that. You can feel Marco Rubio. That guy's a squish. I don't know what happened to him. But you could feel Rubio kind of starting to say, yeah, maybe Trump went a little bit too far. Maybe we should need to do something. I guarantee right now, Marco Rubio's not going to do that now. I guarantee. I should not say I guarantee. I think he's up in 2022 as well. So I guarantee the S storm that came down initially is rapidly fading, and the Republicans are rapidly getting their spine back to say, yeah, I'm going this way instead of where I was leaning. I guarantee it. Now, look, you're still there's no way Marco Rubio, and he especially wants to run in 2024, but there's no way he's going to impeach Trump. No way. Yeah, look, I don't even care. They do whatever the hell they want. I think I kind of hope they do. I laugh because if they do, all it's going to do is make Trump a martyr. You know what I'm saying? And that's these guys are idiots. I love it. I'm excited because I think they always overstep. The reason the Democrats overstep is because the media kisses their butt. I mean, they look at Twitter. Twitter's run by idiots. If you're on Twitter, I don't know what they do. They read the media. The media is run by idiots on the left. And so there's an echo chamber. So literally they think the country's on their side. It's just not, man. It's just not. Other than the urban areas, the country is not left wing. Now, the urban areas can pull, Steely Joe through. I get it, with some weird stuff happening, but by and large, the urban areas can pull that guy through, but they can't pull him through, or the Democrats in the legislative, chambers of the House and the Senate, especially in off-year elections. It can't. And that's where it's going to get exciting, because Republicans can be pissed. The pissed off Republicans and the lackadaisical Democrats because they listen to their own press releases. It's good stuff, man. And then what will happen again is the stuff that comes from the states is where the 50 states with their unique legislative approaches, some of that stuff is going to be fantastic and pave the way to run in 2024 on hopefully a more freedom approach for sure. Now, look, I'm disappointed in some stuff Trump did. By and large, I think he was a great president. I absolutely do. And as you know, I'm disappointed in this whole COVID thing, but be it as it may, it's water under the bridge now. Now we move forward and we say, okay, how do we deal with it now? And a pissed off Republican Party who sees the oligarchs and the fascists taking over, if they're going along with that, they can, basically, they'll never win a Republican primary again, I would think, because there's no way. No way. Trump had huge support among the GOP. If you're going to vote to even think about it, hell no, man. This is what I said the other day on MeWe. I said, any Republican who gives up support on Trump now, I won't vote for. I'll actively vote against. And so if any Republican out there, Rubio coming to mind, starts saying, yeah, I don't know about Trump. He was a little bit. Oh, you're done. He didn't come out, at least that I could say, like that. But I tell you what, man, anyone who does like that, you're dead to me. And the two primary ones I love now are Cruz and Hawley, just because they're freaking the ones that Biden called Nazis. Oh, keep doing it, Sniffy. I love it, man. Is Rubio better tighten up? Exactly. No, I think that's right. And Rubio's up, and they're gonna. He could easily be primaried. Easily. I can't complain. I can complain all I want, but I'm pissed off, and now I'm playing by rules from her. If they want me, they need to prove it. Yeah, I think that's right. Timothy Smith, who won the Super Bowl, number 36 for the Redskins, ran for like 219 yards. Timmy Smith. Timmy says, we, the Republicans, are getting much stronger base. It's going to suck for a couple years, but we're going to be better in another year. I think that's 100% right, man. I think our base, our minor leagues, our farm system is much better than the Dems. I truly, truly believe that. Because this is where I think the media. I know they can change. I know for a fact the media helps the Democrats. There's a guy a number of years ago who said the media basically basically represents 5% votes for the Democrats. I think I forgot who it was. I think that's true. The media is about 5% because they're so left, so far left. But the issue is that the Democrats don't. I'm just telling you, they read their press clippings and say they don't know when they are in power that they're still not well liked. If that makes sense, they don't get it. Now Obama's different. I get the thing with Obama; he was different. But other than that, the Democrats have not done well. for basically for a long time. They just haven't. I'm just telling you right now, they got a huge win in 2009, and that was just because everyone was thrown in with Obama. I mean, without question. Other than that, in '93, the Republicans have beaten them more than they've lost to them. I'm just telling you right now, they have. And so because of that, and because the Republicans have beaten them, fighting against the media, which is absolutely hostile towards the Republican Party and conservative values as a whole, the Republicans are better, more nimble, and better at fighting back. Now, I get it. There's tons that aren't. But by and large, we are better at the debates and stuff like that because we have to be, without question. Now, I'm telling you, I get it. Freaking tons of people are not. Mitten's a perfect example of that. But I think we have a deeper bench than they do, and a bench that's more agile and more active and younger and a lot more able. Because if you're a Republican today, having come up in elementary school, high school, college, corporate, I mean, you've been hearing the left your whole life. And if you're still on the right, you got freaking balls of steel, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you are one tough hombre because the left has thrown everything at you, and yet you are still on the right, and you're willing to go into politics. That's what I'm saying. The old Republican Party, like I was just talking about the old guy here in Georgia, these guys, it's not the same thing as what it is when they came up 25 years ago. Is more of an old boys club, a bunch of freaking Sniffy Joes and Ted Kennedy who just, whatever, other than assaulting women, were drinking shots of vodka, even, on with each other as Democrats and Republicans. You know what I'm saying? Those kind of days are gone now. Now it's a brawl. And if you're on the Republican side and you have to deal with all that left wing crap for all these years, man, you got balls. I love it. Yeah, Rick Scott was good. I was quite pleasantly surprised with Rick Scott, and I was very surprised with Florida as a whole because they said, with the whole Venezuelans coming in, the Puerto Ricans, remember, they were all saying when Puerto Rico, all these people fleeing Puerto Rico because of the hurricane, they're going to doom Rick Scott and doom the Republican. Nope, they want the exact opposite. That was a huge blow to the Democrats. Florida being solid now in the red is a huge blow to the Democrats. That's big, man. That's big. Yeah, the Texas is not it's not as solid red as California is blue. I get that. But don't forget, Texas is gaining people. California is losing people. And a lot of people Texas is gaining are right wingers from California. And so a lot of people are saying, well, California is, what's her name? Comey won by 40 points in California, where Ted Cruz won by 3 and against Beto or somebody, whatever the hell it was. But I'm not that worried about Texas. I'm more worried about Georgia, to be perfectly honest with you. Georgia is concerning for sure. I was surprised. I was after 2018. I thought Georgia would be a walk in the park. I did, and regardless of what happened here in Fulton County, it was still too close, man. The thing that irks me more than anything is that no Republicans had the fortitude to see what could happen if they weren't watching this. It's crazy. I'm like, dude, why did you not? It's nuts. Like, we play by the rules. They don't, and they change the rules at a drop of a hat, and you can't. It's like whack-a-mole. We're following where the Democrats go, but they always lead because they come up with most imaginative operations that we can't even think about. We're like, I would never have thought about whatever the hell they do. It's crazy, man. And they're like, and by the time we think about it, 2 elections are already gone, and now they're on to the next thing. It's insane. It's insane how dastardly they are. I give them credit for it, though. We just don't have the same kind of thinking. It's like, if you're going to beat a criminal, you gotta think like a criminal. If you're going to beat a corrupt politician, you got to think like a corrupt politician. But we aren't like that. It's kind of like in C.S. Lewis's book, Screwtape Letters. He said that was the hardest book emotionally he had to write because he had to think like the devil. He said it was tough. It made me feel dirty. I had to think like the devil. He said, I could never do it again because I don't want to think like the devil. It's the same kind of thing. I don't want to think like a corrupt politician. I don't want to beat him like that. I want to beat him fair and square. And I know that we're going to lose. We're already going to be on the negative going in because of media. They cheat, all that stuff. But at the end of the day, when we win, it's even that more satisfying because we did it the right way for sure. Dems claim voter registration. Oops, I didn't see what happened, man. Dems. Oops. Yeah, no, I agree with Kim. Cruz is good. Rubio's okay. Cruz, I like him. They just um, I like him. I think Cruz would be better in a different thing. Look. I gave Cruz money. I am a big fan of Cruz. I like Cruz. Not a big fan of Rubio. I'll never vote for Rubio. If he ran in Georgia, I'd vote for him, but I'd never vote for him. But Cruz just doesn't quite go over as well as somebody we need, if that makes sense. Cruz, I just don't think he'll ever. I think he'd be great as like attorney general. I thought he would have been a good attorney general. He's like he's a very smart guy. He can argue in front of intelligent people better than anyone. The problem is the American voter is looked at in 20-second sound bites, if that makes sense. And Cruz is just not. He just doesn't have the skill set for that short, quick sound bite of appeal to emotions. He doesn't. So anyway, yeah, I don't think so. Rick said he would be better off with 4 major political parties. I don't think that's true at all. I don't. I think that's actually not true. I think if you look at some of the insanity they have in these countries, like Italy comes to mind, the major political parties, I don't think that's. I would not agree with that. First vote for Reagan. My first vote was for Dukakis. If Republicans don't give us an equal playing field, then there's no point of voting. Well, yeah, but I mean, don't forget that's what they want you to say. They want you to say, well, literally, that's don't vote, doesn't matter. Well, it does matter, and you start with your local elections. I see that's the thing. They can't. They're not gonna. They don't have the bandwidth for local elections, and as we can see here, what happened this last year, local elections mean a lot, maybe even more than the national elections. The Department of Health, the county executives, you know what I'm saying, the Secretary of State. I mean, who knew that Puffy Barger here in Georgia was going to be such a squish? I didn't know. I just know he won the primary. He had an R, so I voted for him. I mean, I would not have voted for the Democrat, don't get me wrong, but I wish I would have been more involved in the primary. And our clown attorney, whatever, the lieutenant governor, I didn't even like him to begin with. Even during the primary, did I even vote in the primary? I think I might have. Some guy named Jeff, Geoff, and he's like, I played minor league baseball. I didn't like him at all. And I know he thinks he's going to run for governor. And I tell you what, I'm going to campaign hard against that clown. I cannot stand that guy. The reason is because he started saying, it's just the whole thing. When the S was hitting the fan, they jumped ship. And I said, man, at least go down with a fight, dude. At least pretend like you care. You know what I'm saying? You might not, but at least pretend like you're trying to make this seem legit. The problem is they didn't even try. That's what's so frustrating. It's like they did not even try. And it's like, but that's our fault. We voted for these clowns. And the sad thing is Brian Kemp, he was a Trump Jr. That's what he ran as. And but you don't know until they're in the foxhole. That's the thing. You don't know how someone's going to react until the shots are coming. And now we see that Brian Kemp isn't up to snuff. We see the Puffy. I don't know what the hell Puffy. I didn't like him all that much either. I certainly didn't like our lieutenant governor Jeff, whatever the hell his name is. But they're just not up to snuff, man. All right. The winning platform, the GOP, will be some fiscal, social responsibility paired with folks on the little guy. Yeah, I think holding immigration is a wonderful thing. I think that's a huge. I'm telling you right now, man. Also, you hear about Steely Joe talking about for small businesses. Basically, everybody except white guys are going to benefit from the government. A, that's inherently discriminatory, which is illegal. B, that I see. This is good. I mean, these guys are idiotics, man. Idiots. They say stuff because they get away with it so long. And now, like Joe has gotten away with it. This is good. He's gonna piss people off. He's not just gonna piss white guys off like me, but white guys have been married to white women or not even white women, black women, and women said, why? What the hell? My husband doesn't deserve your help there, Sniffy Joe. You know what I'm saying? My sons. I mean, this is the same thing with the Brett Kavanaugh thing. People saw that and they said, that could be my kid. That could be my husband. That could be my brother. It's the same thing here. I'm a white woman. I got white children. Some are white sons. And Sniffy Joe is basically saying because they're white skinned, their government's not going to help them because nothing more than they happen to have something down low and have, pale skin. I mean, it's crazy. It's great. I love it. That's good, man. I'm telling you, yeah, it's going to piss you off. You're like, let him talk. The best thing Obama had going for him is that he talked a good game. I mean, he didn't make those kind of. I mean, he kind of did. He said the cop in Cambridge, the cop acted stupidly, and that hurt him. I mean, Obama said a couple of things that hurt him for sure, hurt him politically. Joe is always going to say stuff that hurts him. It's just freaking awesome, and he's going to back it up. And all he's going to do is people say, "Dude, I didn't realize I was voting for racist." It's kind of like Hitler. My daughter was talking about Hitler. Hitler wasn't an Aryan. You know what I'm saying? Yet Hitler wanted the Aryan race to be the Superman. It's kind of like Joe Biden. Dude, you're not a person of color. You're not a chick. You're not an LBGT, whatever the hell it is. You're just a white dude who's had everything handed to him. So you might have the white privilege there, Joe, as Hunter does, but the rest of us don't, and we certainly don't, own up to it. And as such, but the whole point is this is good because this is going to, I mean, look, the white guys can be already pissed off, and he recognized white guys didn't vote for him anyway. So who am I hurting? Well, the problem is the white guys are married to women. The white guys have the other people have white children, white brothers and sisters, and that kind of stuff is divisive. It's not unifying, and people see that and they say, yeah, I don't like that. So I encourage that stuff. When the left is out in the open is the best. I hope you guys understand. Bill Clinton, Hillary, even for that matter. I mean, they were so good at hiding their leftism. Obama, he could hide his leftism under just the talk of being a pragmatist and stuff, and it sounded great. But truly, there were lefties without question. But Joe can't. He can't hold his tongue. It's awesome. And he's actually, I don't even think he's a lefty. I just think he is so used to playing the left, playbook that he doesn't know that now it's time to focus on not that. I just love it. I think it's great. Got 2004 took steps to secure their election. I think it was even later than 2000, man. I think that was still a kind of a clusterfuck for a long time. I think it was Rick Scott who got that finalized, where he cleaned up the voter rolls with a lot of dead people and stuff. You're getting some crazy libs in California, from California, Texas, but your Governor Abbott said that that the bulk are voting for the Republicans. Apparently, they have studies that validate that. I have to go on what the good governor says. I want to give Governor Abbott a break. Actually, I was on him pretty bad, and some of the other governors as well for not being as open as what's her name up in South Dakota, even Brian Kemp here in Georgia, and DeSantis in Florida. And I had an epiphany of some sort that I think a lot of those governors were worried about coming up on Trump's wrong side, actually. And this is where I hold Trump to, again, account. Because the way Trump did Kemp, remember, Kemp was the first guy to open up. Before, what's her name? I keep on calling Naomi. It's not Naomi. Kristi Noem up there in South Dakota. Before DeSantis, Kemp was the first. And Trump was on him like white on rice, man. Trump took him to the woodshed. And I think some of these other governors said, I don't want to be on Trump's bad side. And I think, and Abbott has a stupid mask mandate, but he didn't do anything. He doesn't do anything with it. Ducey, he was pretty good. He seemed to flounder a little bit. But I'm not so sure that's Trump. I don't know. But at the end of the day, my man Greg Abbott in Texas, I'm gonna backtrack. I had said he screwed up, man, by having that mask mandate. I actually think he felt some pressure from Trump. I really, really do. And as such, I don't think that I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I really am. I think Trump hurt. For me, he hurt his cred when he went after Brian Kemp. And I did it. I reposted a video on that today. I did a video on that. I said, what the hell, dude? What are you doing, Trump? He's one of your staunchest allies, and you're throwing him under the bus. That was back in April, May, I think. I can't remember. My man, Young Ripa, thinks we should separate the union. I mean, I entertain that thought. I'm not. I don't know. I think we might have to come to that conclusion just to separate. Frankly, I'm not that sure the union is as fractured as people think. I think by and large, most people just want to get on to go on. I think at the end of the day, and I'm not going to say social media. I think, though, unfortunately, social media is where you hear the idiots more often than not. And on top of that, because we live in a freaking shutdown, lockdown society, social media has more prevalence. By and large, though, you got some idiots in Silicon Valley. I get that. But by and large, I think most Americans just like, dude, I'm just trying to pay the bills. You know what I'm saying? I don't think most people are all that. I bet if you asked 80% of the American population, they'd have a lot of similarities. So, I don't want, look, I don't think there should be any restrictions on firearms. I get that. My opinion on that is quite radical. Some people think there should be no firearms ownership, and their opinion on that is quite radical. I think most people say, literally, that you should make sure, people who engage potential for committing crime shouldn't own firearms. Most people say you should go through a background check. I bet 80% of the population thinks that. Now, I don't, but other people think you shouldn't own firearms. We're not in the majority there. Abortion, I don't like it. I'm pro-life 100%. If I was God, I'd say we'd never have an abortion, but I'm not. You know what I'm saying? So that's not going to happen. I don't like third trimester abortions at all. I think that's evil, and I certainly don't like what the hell's going on now with that. I think most people say, in the first trimester, okay, we don't like it. It should be like Clint said. It should be rare and it should be safe. I think most people would say the same thing like that. I don't. I'm completely pro-life without question. And there's some people who say literally you can have an abortion after the baby's born. Literally, it's freaking insane. But those people are crazy. I don't think I am, but be that as it may. What else? I think you should legalize all drugs, not just dope, everything. I think people have a right to put in their body what they want to put in their body. Again, it's a pretty radical position. Some people think you should have prohibition on alcohol. I think actually it's interesting. It seems like we're leaning towards prohibition now in some countries. I was listening to my man in the UK talking the other day, like basically they're cracking down on drinking alcohol in Ireland is what it was. Because if you drink alcohol, you're more prone to spread COVID. I was like, this is like prohibition come right back at. The temperance movement is coming back. We're going to have the temperance women, knocking on your door to make sure you're not drinking beer and to tell your wife if you're drinking beer. It's creepy. But that's my position on that is radical. I get it without question. But anyway, I think there's a lot that I think that I'm not afraid to publicize. A lot that far left commies think that they're not afraid to publicize. I think most people fall in the middle without question. Trump will go down in history as the worst president in history. That's just stupid. All right, so let's just ban this guy. Just don't look, man. Just don't be stupid. He's not going down as the worst president in history. John Roberts is on here. Shouldn't you be on the Supreme Court, John? My goodness, you should be looking at ways to free up the society instead of listening to me. Yeah, most American moderate. I think that's right. I think most Americans, for instance, want a minimum wage. I think it's stupid, but most Americans do. Most Americans are okay with things I shudder at, but I think most Americans are like, whatever, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem with when you are have positions that are so far removed from what the most people are, is that you forget what most people think, and as such, you think your positions are so right. The far left thinks their positions are so right, and so you guys are doing the battling, but most people are just in the middle. They don't care. They're just like, look, I just want to see baby pictures. Let's see. Yeah, no, that's what I think. Charles in charge, just like one single person that their mission is to correct voter fraud. That guy would get my vote. That's all I care about. I just want to make sure that the elections are fair. That's it. And if I lose, I'm fine with that. I am. But I don't think it's fair now. I would love to see a Republican saying my number one issue is to correct the voter fraud. If they go after Trump too much, he's going to come. I hope then. And look, I'm hoping, frankly, that we get some new blood across the board. I really do. But if they go after him too much, he's going to create I'm telling you, the pariah. and he will get a lot of people to support him. And he doesn't even have to make much. He'll just say, my issue is going to be fix what's broken, and everybody knows it's broken. And and he'd win. I'm telling you right now, he'd win, because to say he got a raw deal, they went after him like after the fact, and he'd win, man. I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they will. I don't think they're that dumb. I don't think the Democratic Party will be that dumb to keep Trump on their mind once they assume authority. I don't think that they're going to. And they'll disappoint a lot of their supporters, just like I'm still pissed off that Hillary, no one ever went after her. I mean, like, dude, it's like she committed freaking crimes. Just because was married to the president of the United States, why does she get away with committing freaking crimes? But I get it. They said we got to move on. And I imagine the Democrats will do the same with Trump. If they don't, I don't think. I think that's gonna be good for Trump. And frankly, I want there to be someone else in 2024. I really, really do. But we'll see. They voted for Trump and GOP this time. Did it matter? I mean, I don't know, Jill. I mean, let's just say they did. You take away a couple of counties, a couple of precincts. You see what I'm saying? The country is still pretty doggone split. I mean, don't forget, when Trump won, he didn't win that much. He just didn't. When Bush won, he didn't win that much. I mean, I'm sorry, they didn't. We can say there's been voter fraud going back, and there's always voter fraud. I get that, but when Bush won like the closest election in like 200 years or something like that for electoral votes. 60,000 votes is all it took in Ohio. If he loses 60,000 votes, Kerry is literally that close. When Trump won, it's like, what, 44,000? Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. That's it. And I got to tell you, there's videos. If you go back to 2017 in Wayne County, Michigan, there's a lot of the videos where you're like, yeah, that seemed kind of weird. Like I'm telling you right now, you start to think this has been going on a while, that we don't have secure, fair votes. And Wayne County is heavily Democrat. And Trump won by 10,000 votes. Easily could have been overcome in Wayne County. Easily. But there's a lot of stuff that seemed bad. I'm not going to lie to you. It turned out that it favored Trump. But that never got fixed. And I'm sure they learned what happened in 2016 so they can make sure it happened to their benefit in 2020. I guarantee. But I hate to say it, but Trump had 4 years to make that an issue, but he didn't. It's so freaking frustrating. I'm like, dude, how could you not see this coming? But just watch some videos on 2017 from 2016 vote in Wayne County. And if you were on the Hillary team and you saw that, you would be like, that doesn't make me feel good about this election. I'm just telling you right now, just watch. Now, that would not have cost Trump the election because he still won, not an electoral landslide, but he won a lot. But I'm telling you, man, you start getting a little bit more sympathetic towards the other side's arguments. Like, that didn't look good. And whatever happened, we'll never know. We'll never know. But Wayne County is heavily Democrat. Also, Trump won Michigan by 10,000 votes. I don't know. I don't know what happened. We never will. But that's not good. And then I seem like I had something else I was going to say on that. I can't remember. So anyway, I just think if someone can say, look, at the end of the day, we just got to get a free election, a fair election. Let's just make sure it's fair. I'm actually coming around to the point that I think the government should pay for all elections. This lobbying stuff has got to stop. It's funny how circular I've come on that. You can't have these guys because the rich elitists are all on the left, man. And they fund the Democrats, 4-1. We don't have a chance. I mean, Ossoff blew away, what's his name, Perdue here. Even though Perdue was a sitting senator. I mean, he was like the underdog. They got the money, and we don't. It's just we are the working and middle class Republican Party. They are the wealthy, and they got the money. They got money to burn. They got money to burn, and they do. All over the world, they got money. They got Chinese money, hell, coming in. I guarantee. I mean, this whole thing with Clinton. Remember, Jimmy, the Clinton guy, Jimmy something, back in '95, went to jail The whole thing was nuts. Anyway, they got international money. They got, rich Hollywood, Silicon Valley money, Wall Street bank money. We got nothing. So I think the Republican Party would be smart to say, let's just make sure that, whoever the nominee is gets, I don't know, freaking $100,000 or something like that. I don't know. And there's got to be some limits on how much they can spend. I don't know what it'd be. I mean, I know the Supreme Court has said they can spend whatever they want, but maybe there can be some kind of bill that says, I don't know what it'd be. Say it's all going to be government funded now, because this is nuts. This is all done by corporate lobbyists, and on top of that, by big donors, which we can't compete with. We can't compete. The Citizens United thing that hurt us. I'm telling you right now, it's crazy. The Democrats screamed bloody murder, and that hurt us bad. That actually hurt. That was I can't remember, a Pyrrhic or Pyrrhic victory. Not only did that hurt because the Democrats raised a hell of a lot more money because there's more rich people in the Democratic Party, but also made you have to show your donor base. So now people can see if you donated to Trump, they can come and target you. And I just know the Republicans, they don't think far enough. I thought Citizens United was going to be helpful to the Republicans. Nope. It killed us. And I think that's water under the bridge now too. So anyway, I think there needs to be a government funded vote or a campaign. And I think it's too late now. Citizens United is the law of the land, but because we can't overturn that unless the Supreme Court gets some kind of issue on that, I think the Republicans need to act on let's just run the government runs this to get lobbyists out, because everyone hates lobbyists. That's an easy middle of the road one to say we're going to get the lobbying out. It's kind of like the Democrats. We want to get rid of voter suppression. We want everyone to have a right to vote. And we're like, yeah, that's right, Stacey Abrams. We can make the same arguments along those same lines. Like, look, man, we want to get lobbying out of there. Let's just let the government run or fund the elections. That way everyone has a free and equal chance. Yeah, that's great. But all we're doing is that because our side is getting killed on the money raising. And the reason the Democrats do it is because it allows them to do some sneaky stuff, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, fixing voter fraud, man, 100% right. Yeah, Facebook announced that if you type "stop the steal," you're banned for good. Yeah, when I was a kid, the Republicans were always Mr. Burns. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the Republicans are always Mr. Burns. Yeah, I know. 100%. We can't compete. Jill, I hear you. But at the end of the day, it was still too close. I mean, I'm telling you right now. I mean, let's just say 100,000 votes. What, 5 million were cast? I mean, so it's just still too close. I mean, this is what Hugh Hewitt said. He goes, if it's not close, they can't cheat. And these elections are too close. And so if it's too close, and the party that doesn't play by the rules is going to win, if that makes sense. But you still have a country that is pretty split down the middle, and just a little bit of leaning on either side via shenanigans can change the outcome of it. But that doesn't take away the fact that it's still close. That's what I'm trying to say. It was still close. So we can't sit here and say today that the Republicans won hugely when, if it 500,000 votes, let's just use that for example. I mean, across a country of 330 million people, of which 150 million voted. I hear what you're saying. I'm just, at the end of the day, it's still too close, and it did not have to be that close, and it was too close because the idiots in charge of allowing mail-in ballots. And I just, you and I have to agree to disagree with that. I look at the guy in charge who allowed everybody to be scared crapless, and then because of that, everyone else said, "Wow, this is our chance for mail-in ballots." The Democrats have been waiting for this forever. I can't believe our people couldn't see this a mile away. It's nuts. And so the facts are, we slit our own throats to appease the media because we didn't want to be accused of killing grandma. Crazy. All right. Do you see the amount of corporate support? Yeah, no, absolutely. This is where we just got to go full populist. I'm just telling you right now, man. Full populist. I'm done with the tax cut issue anymore. I don't care. I do literally the corporate tax cut. I just don't care. When are the corporations ever going to make good with the Republican Party who have fed them business, fed them profits? No. I mean, at some point, the Republican Party is going to have to be the Teddy Roosevelt to say, we're going to bust you up, man. Because, I mean, until we have 100% funded government elections, the corporations are going to go after the people they're scared of most, which is the Democrats. They don't want the pitchforks. They don't want the media. So they're going to fund the Democrats, the Stacey Abrams, the Black Lives Matter. And the Republican Party is going to sit there saying, but we're the ones who advocate corporate tax cuts. Yeah, but we're not worried about you coming at us at night and slitting our throats. We're worried about them. So thank you, but we're going to give the money to them. And at some point, the Republican Party needs to say, no, we're going full populist. We're going to go Huey Long almost, and we're going to go freaking Teddy Roosevelt and screw you guys, man, because the corporations screw us. What we should do is say, the sole proprietors, small business in America is not that small. It's 500 people or less is what a small business is. We should say, we are just here to support the small business. And again, 500 people or less, and you can make it a little bit bigger. But if you're, let's say you're if you have a market capitalization over, I don't know, you can say whatever you want, 500 billion. I don't even care what it is. We're going to come after something. I don't know what it'd be, but we got to say we are here to support the small business, Main Street over Wall Street. And say how we're going to do this. That if you have 2,000 or 500 people or less that you employ, if you got revenues of 50 million or less, I'm just throwing numbers out there off the top of my head. We want you to pay less corporate taxes. Other people, we want you to pay more. But they'll flee to Ireland. Okay, well, this is the issue. America is where the business is conducted because we have the people here. We're the third largest country in the world, and by far and away the largest, most wealthy country out there. Thus, if they want to do business, they're going to do business with us. Why not use that to our advantage? And then if you're the Republican Party, why not use that to our advantage to say, we are the ones you've been punishing too long, and we're not putting up with that crap anymore. And I tell you, I'm over the tax thing. It's over to me. It's boring to me because we lose. And at some point, we're going to have to jump on the freaking thing and make the corporations fear us the way they do the Democrats. And you use the power of government. I hate to say that, but we lose, man. And as such, our freedoms are being taken away from us. Even when we had a Republican Senate, a Republican president, and 2 years ago, a Republican House, our freedoms are being taken away right in front of our eyes because the freaking moneyed interests control things. They do. And the politicians flow with what the money interests tell them to. So we got to get people up there to make the money interest, at least split it. It doesn't have to be 50-50, but hell, at least 55-45, 60-40. Right now, it's like 90-10. And because it's 90-10, because they fear Bernie Sanders more than they fear Donald Trump. That's just a fact, man. And they certainly don't fear Paul Ryan because they know they can buy him. Paul Ryan is give him freaking $100,000 a year or whatever the hell it is, $1 million a year, and he's like, I'll sell the country. I don't care. Jeff Flake, same damn thing. Freaking Pat Toomey. All these guys are libertarian leading Republicans, capitalists. Turns out, no. Sell their soul for rock and roll. Screw all that. I'm sick of it. So until the Republicans get their freaking hats on straight and say, no, all right, we played that game to our loss. We did the best we could. Now we're going to try a new tact. The tax stuff is over. It's over. No one cares. So let's do something else. Let's do something else, which is say, all right, well, if you can't beat them, join them. And to join them is to say, all right, corporations, you aren't going to give us any. All right, college professors, you're not going to give us anything. Remember, the colleges go 95-5, if even that, to the Democrats. So, okay, you're not going to play fair. We're coming after you. Well, it's not rocket science here, man. It's politics. Yeah. All right. All right. Oh, Fauci. All right. I think I'm going to get out of here, my friends. So I appreciate y'all being here. Remember, the local votes cannot be manipulated to the same extent, though. You see what I'm saying? They just don't have the firepower. So thus such freaking Yeah, right. America is the 17th on the list of countries of freedom. And yet we've had Republicans in some kind of authority for a long time, man. And yet there we are. So you got to get out in the local vote. Here in Oklahoma, you got a lot of referendums that were school districts. And you don't have kids in schools. Who cares, man? Who cares? Get out and vote for those school districts. Get out and vote for your local politicians. Vote down any bond that's out there. Get out and vote in your local capacity. I'm telling you, those are the huge points. And from there, we build up. All right. So you got, thanks for being here.